Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Ecstatic from Jem Miller. And this is actually a tangulation of static from Zentangle. All right, so and it's in the description section. I will have links to the step outs, and the one under for more inspiration kind of tells a little bit of the story about it, and it's rather interesting. So make sure that you check that out. So this starts off with a jagged line, and probably should be a little bit more varied than that, but you know, sometimes you just have to go with what comes out of your hand. All right. And then starting kind of like traditional static, which is essentially just aura-ing. You know, it's like a jagged line. You want it to look like, you know, say static. And so we're going to... what I did on the step out, just to kind of define things a little bit, was I did an aura underneath. I'm going to flip it like it matters. You could probably just do two and it's okay. And then one above. You know, you can do however you like. And then what's interesting about this tangulation is instead of, you know, just kind of aura-ing until your space is filled, she was doing like sections. So for instance, and so this is where I end up taking a little bit of a breath because I'm like, okay, I don't know exactly what to do. So, okay. So it's just doing like parts. So it's kind of a go with however you feel. You know, it's like if you just feel like, oh, I'm gonna raise this one up. Oh, and let's, well, I'll flip it here. We'll do this. We'll do the other side. And I'm thinking, you know, you don't have to go, you know, all the way, like starting at the corner. Start wherever you want, and there. And I'll just do a little bit there, and maybe like that, and like that. And this is, like I said, this is where I usually am like, oh, I don't know. It's hard. This is what I call spontaneous creativity, and you know, when there's not a rhyme or reason, and so I'm working on that. That's my my own little Zentangle therapy that I do. It's just like, all right, you can do it, and I cheer myself on, and then we do it. All right, you know what? Actually, this one I think I'll go up on the one. And sometimes it's like just do something. This is my strategy. So if you're challenged with this as well, just do something because it's okay. As my mom is always telling me, it is just a piece of paper, and if you end up not liking it, then kind of maybe put it to the side and, well, let's finish these steps here and then you can decide. But there's some things afterwards because I encourage those that have this challenge as I do to not give up, and I'll talk through some strategies here. The next step, once you kind of have it the way you want it, and I'm going to say as well, you know, after this step, you could go and add some more if you want. So we're going to do some rounding. So rounding these edges here that we just made. So I'm just doing little curved lines to the line below. And then you can also decide how you want to do those. Meaning, what was I meaning? I don't know what I was meaning. I was meaning something. I had this thought in my head. Because there was something I did when I was playing. I'm like, oh yeah, that could work. But you know, well, you decide. It depends on where it is. I had some that were in the corner, and so like if I had stopped here, then I could decide. Well, do I want the curve line to go here, or do I want it to go here? So it's one of those, you get to decide on these little things, and so it makes for an interesting tangulation. And then, as a final something to do, you could also, because she said add rounding, and she was rounding this, but then you could also add a little rounding in these corners if you wish. And that is, I'm making a very little curved line just to kind of blend, you know, like here's this line, and then it kind of comes, and then it twists up here, like I said, it's just a little bit of weight in those corners. And you don't, you can look and see if you want to do that or not. It kind of adds a neat effect. And then too, you could play with how much you put in there as well. I'm just going very little, because then if I decide that it really needs to be a little bit more, then I can add more versus going too big to start off with. And as you can see, well, let me hold on before I say, oh, look at how neat this is, because it wasn't looking very neat. But so this doesn't have the little rounding in the corner, and these do, and it just finishes it off kind of interesting. Oh, and okay, I don't think she had this on hers. Let me look really quick as I'm saying it. Oh yeah, she did a little bit. Okay. Oops. In these corners as well. I haven't scanned in my step out, so I'm going to make sure to add that in there. And so the rounding, you kind of want it to be like, I like it to come out of this line and then merge into the next line, and try to avoid having the little natural bumps that happen when you're kind of drawing over something. So that's why I like to start small, so that way then if I can get my pen on the line, like so, and you can see, it's just a little curve line, and then we fill that in. And maybe I work to make them a little too small. I don't know. But like I said, I like to have it be bumpless. And so it just adds an interesting twist on this. It's really, more of a classic Zentangle original tangle. And let's just get these last few, and then we can talk a little bit about some shading, because of course there's multiple ways to do that, and we'll do like a simple way. But back to what I was saying about not giving up, especially if you are like me and you have a little bit of a spontaneous creativity challenge. The game I play in my head is, I want to find ways that will make it so I like it. So maybe it's adding color. Maybe you have to add in something. I'm going back and just kind of touching some of these up. And so sometimes just doing that helps. But so I just encourage you. This Zentangle is more than just, drawing cool patterns. There is life lessons that we can take out of that. And a lot of it is it's just not giving up on something, and finding ways to make it better, to make it the way you want it to be. Just like in life, right? If life gives us lemons, we make lemonade. So it's what I think is so interesting about this art form, is that we can draw interesting life analogies from it. And if you've read Rick and Maria's books, or follow the blog, that's they talk about that art mimics life. That's why they don't there's no eraser, there's no rulers in the kits. Although we have done some things with utilizing other tiles and tracing and stuff. And it's not like it's a hard and fast rule. It's just it's the philosophy. There's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle, and yeah, and it's fun to just kind of work to embrace some of those philosophies. All right, so there we go. That's it finished. Now, if you want to add some shading, this is like one of the simplest ways to do it, and to create some bendiness. So I'm gonna just really, I'm just gonna do this first. Yeah. And I know, yeah, and there. I'm just thinking, in the step out, in the information, Yeah, it was going this way. All right. They were basically shading this whole entire side. Sometimes, and I apologize, sometimes I can't tangle and talk at the same time. Sometimes I'm pretty darn good at it. But every once in a while, it's like, wait, I'm having to think here. Hold on. Processing. I was thinking, I didn't, well, now when I go back, it looks a little bit better. But I really wanted to have that, have it look where like it's bent. And let's see, and these come down. And so, let's see, let me look through the camera. Interesting, but let's have it go a little further. Actually, I'm going to start it darker here, because I'm thinking if I have a nice enough gradient, let's try that. And then kind of making a line with it. Yeah, that seems to help. That seems to. Let's go a little darker. A little darker. Just getting that gradient out to the other side. Oh, and actually, so that way we're creating kind of a, like I said, like it's something that's been folded. Yeah, and it kind of does. So, there we have it. If you enjoyed the video, would love to have your thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Just hit the notification button and then also the bell next to it so you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And I mentioned the description section. If you scroll further down, there's ways to connect with me. If you'd like to maybe take an online class and have even more fun with Zentangle, would love to have you. I have a combination of paid and free classes, and they are on my website, as well as, well, actually, if you go right to the homepage of my channel, there are links to that, as well as to, I've been working hard on posting on Instagram, so that you could, if you want to follow me there, would love to have you. I'm still kind of learning that system there, and anywhere else. So would love to just have you be part of the Tangle Addicts community, because it's so much fun to see what everybody does, and then we all gain from seeing everybody else's beautiful work, and it's just wonderful. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.